today. I really think that I wish that you enjoy your time here, and I don't really have climbed Everest like some of us, but I do have some experiences I want to share with you. So a couple of days ago, I stumbled across one fact which I find very important for public speaking. It turns out, that by stating your name and what you're going to say in the first couple of seconds, you will actually lose the attention of your audience, and that you shouldn't do that. It turns out that the Toastmasters, when you're icebreaking, you should do that, and that is an official guidelines. And I haven't said that yet. My name's Alan, and these are my experiences. I don't really have a lot of time, so I picked up three main things I think I remember, even though they don't really have a lot of meaning to me, but I still remember them very, very well. So the first thing is going to be the first time I was really scared and surprised. So as a kid, when I was about 7 years old, I stayed at my grandparents' house at almost all the summers. And I was kind of into spiders back then. I had lots of toys. They were plastic and rubber, and they were pretty nice. And so I was hanging out at my grandparents' backyard, and I saw a spider sitting on a rock. And can you please, for me, raise your hand if you have seen a tarantula, a very big, hairy spider in real life? Any of you? So 1, 2, 3. So we have about 4 people have seen a tarantula. But have you seen them? Raise your hand if you have seen them before you were 7. I think no one has seen one. And that was the case for me. I haven't seen a real tarantula yet, but I had a lot of toys. So I saw the thing and I thought, oh, that's a nice toy. That's a very nice thing. And I thought, it must be expensive. I was gathering around it, looking at it, and it was very nice. It had so much detail. So I thought, yeah, it must be very expensive. Again, as a 7 years old, that was a nice thing. And that was the moment I had some back thoughts. So for some reason, there was a pen, a used pen at my grandparents' backyard. Please don't think of them as messy people. There was just a pen laying there. And I took that pen and I touched the thing and it moved. So that was, I think, the first time I was scared and surprised, because that was a real thing, and we don't really have them in Kazakhstan. But it turns out that the wolf spiders, which is the spider I saw, are living in the green area of the wall, which means they live everywhere. And I haven't seen one yet. So with the help of my uncle, whose name is Timur, we put the spider in a transparent box so we could see him, or her. Turns out it was her. So after a couple of hours, I checked out the box, and it turns out that she was carrying what seemed to me hundreds of little spiders on her back, and they all spread around the box. So that was a very, very scary thing to look at. And so we thought the most humane thing we should do is to get rid of the spider. So we crossed the road, and there was a field, and we let the spider go. Later there were geese on that field, so I think the spider was eaten, but we never know what happened. So the second experience I think I should share with you guys is something beautiful. I feel a bit guilty that I had you guys to imagine a spider and lots of small spiders around you. So I want to share something rather beautiful. So when I was 14 years old, I went to Altai with my family. That was a family trip. That was one of the most beautiful things I ever saw. I climbed a hill. It was 50-ish meters tall. I don't think it's like Everest again, but I think it was rather beautiful because there was a village nearby, and when I was on that hill, I could see the whole village, and I could see how sky and clouds cast a shadow on the village. And I had some photos. So I don't really, if I do it like that. So we see the sky, and that's in the corner is the village we were staying in back then. So yeah, that's a very beautiful sky, and even though I've been to places which I think considerably more beautiful than this place, and that was just a hill and a village, I think that sky was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So the last thing I want to share with you guys is something open-minded. I haven't told you that, but I was, for 5 years in my middle school and my high school, I was participating in math Olympiads. I wasn't really good, but I think I peaked at third at the city of Astana. And so yeah, I wasn't really good, but I was okay. So there's a thing called Presidential Olympiad, which is they do it yearly in the city of Temirtau. And you haven't, is here anyone from Temirtau? So in the winter, it's not the best place to live in. I was kind of scared because Olympia, that's a big thing. That was a big thing for me. That was a Republican level almost. So I was kind of scared and I was nervous. And the whole thing in the winter, there's not much people around. And the whole thing, I didn't really like the Temirtau. And so I remember at that Olympiad, you have to do more than one subject. You have to do math, you have to do biology, and you have to do chemistry. And physics, and I did okay at math, but I blew the chemistry and biology, so I didn't win it. And I thought that that was my last time visiting the Temirtau, but it turns out that that 2 years after that, when I was a student at Moscow State University, which I still am, I'm in my junior year, they needed a jury for the Presidential Olympiad, and I was one of the people who was picked. And I went there and I was judging people. And since then, I know that every competition, every intellectual competition, the results of it are never accurate because I was one of the judges. I know for sure that it's not accurate. Hope you enjoyed the speech today, and I hope you have a nice time here. Thank you.